like just confirm me back.
Yeah, just a second. Huh?
Okay. I guess it's already started
Yeah,
recording.
go ahead, please.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So already I hope everyone aware of what is manual testing, okay, and what are the pain points we have in the manual testing. And so we can start about it with the like why manual testing is tedious process, okay. So you guys know, right, like in order to do manual job versus automated job, you can say like it's pretty time consuming. Say like might be I can say like a regular example, okay, which everyone aware of it, okay, might be like in earlier days when we are very old, okay, so we don't have any machines, automated machines, okay, so we need to do manually all the activities starting from I can say like there won't be any fan, okay, or there won't be any devices like grinder or like mixie to like grind the things, okay, so we used to have different vehicles like different things to do it. So again once the automation is into the market, okay, like it saves a lot of time, okay, so the same thing here we're going to see in a manual testing as automation testing. So automation testing like it's going to save you a lot of time, okay, so and to get out of a repeated job, so it will be like very much useful. So consider like you want to do a same job again and again, okay, kind of a routine job, so you'll be pissed off, right, okay, why I need to do a same thing. So for example I can say like you want to go to an application and manually do it, okay, like manually process it or like manually fill the application, okay, so that's our duty, okay, but so one point of time we'll be like so we will feel bored of doing it, okay, like why want to do the same thing, okay, so kind of a paperwork, okay, so nowadays no, there is no paperwork in the market. So but just go back to 10 years back, okay, so where we need to fill everything manually, where we need to write manually everything, okay, so it's again a manual process, okay, so it's a tedious and boring process, okay. And coming to the testing, okay, so we need to test it manually, okay, like we need to maintain all the data, like we need to write the test cases, like we need to like maintain the records, like capturing screenshots, then like we need to have the test cases, we need to have the requirements, all this, okay, like it's again a tedious process to do it. And again like it's uh, like the manual testing depends on the moods of the testers, okay. Suppose you are in a good mood, you'll be doing a testing good, okay. Suppose like you are not feeling good, okay, and you need to complete 8 hours work or like 6 hours work on that particular day, you are too tired on that day, okay, so your tiredness will reflect on it, okay, so you can't simply sit idle and watch the scripts are running and like doing the job for you. So you need to like debug and you want to like do a manual steps, like you want to spend, if it is 6 hours work, you want to do a 6 hours work to complete that particular job, so there is no escape on doing it, okay. So it's a very tight like tedious and time taking process. And so I can say like it's needed, we can't do 100% automation, but I can say like in most of the cases I can say like 90 to 95%, even I can say like 80 85 to 90% we can able to achieve with automated way. And 5 to 10% whichever is not automatable, they can go with the manual process, so that you can save a lot of time, okay. So that's about the pain points in today industry, like why manual testing is like it's not yeah, in the market now, okay. So then coming back to automation, why automation? As I told, like it saves a lot of time, and we talked about a lot of things, right? So the main thing about the automation is like, okay, so it's really reliable, okay. So we can do the scripts, okay, so it won't reflect on the mood, okay, so like the computer is like it won't be sick, right, like not like us, okay, like it won't reflect any moods, like today like I'll be happy, tomorrow like I'll be sad, it won't be like in a way of like a computer or a tool, okay. So the same script you can run many times, okay. For example, as a human, if you want to do it same task 10 times, okay, so you will be getting bored and you won't do it with a proper manner. So we'll start with a like I can say like engaging manner, okay, and after 2 or 3 times you'll be getting bored of it. Okay, same thing with like even the kids nowadays, like I can say, like even they are getting bored. Okay, suppose if you're going to like ask your kid, okay, to do might be write alphabets, okay, 10 times, they won't do. Like probably like they will be doing one time or two time, then say like, no mom, no dad, I can't do it. Same thing. Okay, so when like even this generation guys are not capable of doing it, so how we can do it. Okay, so and like we can't rely the same results, okay, whenever we are doing it, okay, like for 10 times or 12 times or 15 times, okay, like it tends to make a human error. Okay, and the main use of an automation is like it's reliable and it's reusable. Okay, same test cases, okay, whatever you are going to test, okay, you can do it on different environment or different browsers. Okay, state like, okay, you want to test an application in Facebook, like kind of like you want to open an application Facebook in Google Chrome, Edge, Internet Explorer, Firefox. Okay, if you want to do manually, like you will be doing manually, right? So first you want to open a Facebook in a Chrome, you will be testing all the features, closing it, then Firefox, closing it. So it's like you want to do the same steps with a different browser. Suppose like you want to do that with a different platforms, I can say like with Mac OS or Linux or Windows machines. Again, the same thing you need to follow, like with the different browsers over there. And okay, okay, so it's a same process will be repeated. If in case you are going to do kind of a mobile testing, or like I can say like with the different versions of it, so then again we need to like go to the each version and test it. Okay, it's a tedious thing, right? Yeah, so this I can say like the automation will be quite useful on that. Okay, so we can reuse the same test cases with different program, like different browsers or different platforms. Okay, so there are a lot of other tools also, like you can see in upcoming slides about it. And as I told, it's we are going to do that either with the programs associated with it, so we can able to customize, or like we can reflect whatever we need with the programs, and they can act accordingly. Okay, and I can say like automation scripts are very fast in nature. Okay, like you can do a parallel execution, so that like you can do an unattended execution. You don't need to be sit in the same place to execute 6 hour test cases. Okay, suppose you have 100 test cases that you're going to run for 6 hours or 8 hours. Okay, state like you can distribute the 100 test cases into 10 different machines, and you can target the run, and it can able to execute within 1 hour actually, or even like less than that. So and we can use this 1 hour also unattended time. Okay, like might be whenever you're going for lunch break, you can just switch on those test cases and you can go off. So it's going to run for you, and it's going to give you a beautiful like report with the screenshots and with the graphs, whatever we need. Okay, we can customize the reports accordingly. So these things are not possible with a manual. Okay, manual test cases or manual testing. Okay, and it's a cost reduction, guys. Okay, like nowadays no one is going to like for example, if you want to do the same job with the 10 different folks or 15 different folks, like you can cut short that with an automation. Again, say like it can save a lot of time and energy for you, and you can do the same thing with in number of tools actually. Okay, so then coming to the popular tools which are available in the market with Selenium, and why Selenium is very much popular in the market. Okay, so let's go back to the old slide. Here we saw something as cost reduction. Okay, the cost reduction is not only meant for the resources, guys, it's also meant for the tool distribution as well. Okay, so for example, if you look on the first column, okay, we are talking about few things called license. Okay, so like each tool like HP, QTP, okay, like it's UFT now. Okay, so IBM RFT and Test Complete, Selenium. Okay, so if you see the first column, okay, so we need a licenses for all the tools. Okay, so except Selenium. Okay, that's why Selenium is like king of the automation world, I can say, like pioneer in automation industry. So it's an open source. Okay, it's readily available. Okay, so and you can use it. Okay, and it's a freely available. Okay, you don't need to pay anything for it. Okay, and if you see the cost associated with it, I can say like you don't need to pay. Okay, even for writing a scripts or even for executing, you don't need anything. Okay, so you don't need anything, I can say. And coming to the customer support, So since it's an open source, we don't have official like we have official support, but it won't be great, okay? But we have a huge open source community to help you on it, okay? If you just want to Google, for example, you stuck somewhere, okay, in doing an automation, if you search that in a Google, you can get the results of it, okay? So it's not like QTP or RFT, like so which you get stuck, okay, and you need to go to their forum and do like to post the questions and get back to us on the results, okay? It won't be the case with Selenium, okay? Like you can get the output, I can say, like you can have huge material over it, or like you can huge forum over it, okay? Like you can go to the GitHub and see how the Selenium is documented, okay? You can have, I can say, like a well drafted document is there for Selenium, and you can use it. Yeah, it requires a coding skill compared to other programming language, like other tools, I can say. Like it requires a programming language, but the beauty of Selenium is like, okay, so you can use any programming language. I can say like Selenium supports almost like 12 top programming languages, okay, like Java, Python, Ruby, JavaScript, C Sharp, then R, okay, like I can say like PHP. So more than 12 programming languages Selenium supports. So you can able to do it with any programming language, whichever matter, okay? And good part about the Selenium is like, okay, if you learn Selenium with one programming language, say like Selenium with Java or Selenium with Python, you can able to do like you can able to automate the same with other programming language. Only thing you want to know the programming language of that. For example, if you're learning Selenium with Python today, and you're going to learn, like you're going to work on Selenium with Java, if you don't need to like learn the entire course Selenium with Java again, okay? So you just need to learn about Java. Once you are done, so you can able to like replicate the same thing on Selenium with Java too. So, like almost the syntaxes, the working nature, everything will be the same. So okay, so that's the very good thing about a Selenium, I can say. And coming to environments, okay, like almost all the programming, like all the tools supports mostly on Windows platform, okay? If you see on UFT, RFT, and Test Complete, okay, so mostly it works only on a Windows machine, okay? If you want to work for a Mac or a Linux systems, definitely no tools will support, okay? um okay, so mostly like in industries we are using Windows, but some cases, okay, if you want to test the like application on Safari machines, okay, Safari browsers, okay, so how you will be doing? You need a Mac machine to test things on Safari, right? So I can say like Selenium is obviously a good choice on that as well, okay? So it supports multiple platforms as well. We can see like the important benefits of using a Selenium as well in the upcoming slides, okay? So that's about the tool comparison, guys, okay? So always I can say like there was not even a single tool will be near to Selenium by any fact of this, okay? So coming to the advantages of going into Selenium, so already we covered most of it. So Selenium supports multiple operating systems, and as you said, as I said earlier, like it can support multiple browsers, okay? So almost all the popular browsers Selenium supports, starting from Firefox, Chrome, Edge, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera. Okay, so almost I can say like all the browsers are ticked. And also like if you want to perform on a headless mode, even we can use HTML unit driver and Python JS. You can use a lot of headless browser as well to test it. Okay, so coming to programming languages, yeah, so Selenium supports almost all the most popular programming languages. So you can write scripts on any of those programming languages, and it can able to work on it. Okay. Since it's an open source, it can support multiple frameworks. Okay. So you can customize accordingly. Okay. If you want to have like BDD style of writing, you can go with it. If you want TDD style of writing, you can go with it. Or if you want data driven style of it, you can go with keyword driven, you can go with. Okay. So, or I don't want any of this. Okay. I'm going to customize. I'm going to make a hybrid model with combination of like BDD style with page object model, with data driven approach, with a keyword driven approach. Yeah, you can do it. So like everything can be achievable with Selenium, okay? So you can mold whatever you want, okay, with the product, okay? The product is readily available, so you can customize it, okay? I don't want this kind of reporting. I'm going to write my own reporting. You can do it. So I can say like Selenium is like that's why it's a open source, guys. Okay, so there is a difference between an open source and a freeware. Okay, so open source means like you will be getting a full code. Okay, the code repo, like how the Selenium is designed. Okay, so what how the methods are defined. Okay, so you will be getting a full code access to it. Okay, so then there is a freemium or free. Okay, so that means like you can just use the software. Okay, so you can't like see how exactly it is coded. Okay, so you can just use it, but you can't go back or change it. Okay, so that's a difference between open source and freemium. So here Selenium is open source, and you can do or you can customize on whatever area you need. Okay, and whatever it's needed, you can be able to do it. Okay, so that's with Selenium, guys. And the only drawback I can say, like it's not a drawback, but it supports only a web-based applications, guys. So coming to other tools, okay, like kind of UFT or RFT, okay. So like it supports desktop applications too, but Selenium supports only web-based application. Okay, nowadays it won't be a big deal. Almost all the applications are hosted on the web internet, I can say, so it can be readily available over the internet. So like it's not a big deal. So I won't say it's a negative now, but I can say like if you go back to 10 years back or something like that. So yeah, like there are a lot of desktop applications in the market. So at the time, like Selenium was not able to like cope up with UFT. But when I can say like when the cross browser or like when uh, with after recession, I can say like after 2008 recession, there was a dip in a software industry. Okay, so all the people are looking for to cut down their expenses. Okay, so I can say like it started in 2008 to 9. There was a huge recession. Right after that, there was a huge dip in the market, and they started like looking how to optimize or like how to minimize the amounts like which we are spending on the tools and things. Okay, so at that time I can say like Selenium was one of the like key factor, I can say, like majorly involved in it, like like almost I can say like it's a good thing about the Selenium, I can say, like okay, so you can use this tool for so you don't need to be rich on using this tool. Okay, so previously like in I can say like a decade ago. Okay, so when I joined IT industry, I can say like so whoever is a big company, okay, like whoever can afford like automation is like they need to be big giants on IT. Okay, then only they can able to afford the automation testing. Okay, the small companies, okay, like suppose you're going to start an application, like it's a small MNC. Okay, again, so like it's not even an MNC, small company. Okay, so they're going to like start it's as all the SDLC, and they are into like testing, they are doing it manually. So if they want to adapt into an automation, at the time like there was no tool was readily available for them to do an automation. Okay, um, because so they need to pay heavily. Okay, automation industry was, I can say, like occupied with a lot of, I can say, like kind of only the multi-billionaires like trillionaires can own it. Okay, the tool. Okay, at the time a decade ago, I can say like around 2007 or 8, even like before that. Okay, so it was I can say like it was also a reason Selenium was boomed into it. Okay, a lot of people started using Selenium. Okay, and after that, okay, so coming back to what I can select the topic. Okay, so let's not go into that other steps. So let's go come back to what. Okay, so I can say like yeah, Selenium is almost it's covered. It ticks all the check boxes whatever we have. Okay, so then let's move into the components of Selenium. Okay, so what are the components available in Selenium? What we are going to see it. Okay, so Selenium like I have four components, guys, like Selenium IDE, Selenium OC, Selenium Web Driver, and Selenium Grid. Okay, it has four components. Okay, Selenium IDE, OC, Web Driver, and Grid. Okay, so in case of IDE, okay, it's very similar to a record and playback. Okay, it's a plugin available on a Firefox or a Chrome. Okay, so as of now, it supports only two browsers. So it's just a plugin available on it. You can record our scripts and you can play it back. Okay, so those two things you can do on Selenium IDE or Selenium OC. Sorry, like Selenium IDE. Okay, so you can use it on Chrome or Firefox. Okay, But suppose like if you are capturing it and if you want to rerun, okay, I can say like the probability of running those scripts will be like 50% to 60%, okay. So it won't run properly, okay. Like so I can say like it's one of the failure thing, okay. So you can use it if your project is very small or dynamic. Sorry, like it's a static, it's not dynamic, okay. Like it's a single page application and you want to just fill the details, then you can go ahead and use it. But again, uh it's not trustworthy to use it, okay, I can say like. And so we cannot use any data sheets, or like we can't customize it. So there are a lot of limitations of using this Selenium IDE. So then comes to Selenium RC. It's absolute now, okay, like no one is using, it's deprecated, I can say. So Selenium RC is the first available Selenium version, I can say. Like Selenium 1.0 is termed as Selenium RC, and it was no more in the market actually, okay. So then we have a Selenium Web Driver, which we're going to see it, okay. um, Selenium Web Driver, the architecture is quite simple, guys, okay. So we have a language binding, okay. So then it's going to transfer, like it's going to interact directly with our drivers, okay. So we have the browsers. For each browser we have a web driver, okay. So like if you're using a old version, okay, like the Selenium 3, so it's using a JSON web protocol. So now with the Selenium 4, okay, I can say like the last version of it, like even Selenium 3.141 itself, like it was started using a W3 WC3C protocols, okay. So if I forget about it, you don't might be like you can see those architecture in a detailed session, okay. So as of now, I can say like in a simple manner to make everyone understand, okay. So we have a browser, okay. So and we have a language binding, okay. So whatever language we are going to use, we are going to write the code on a particular language. For example, we are writing on Python. Whatever we are going to write on a Python, it's going to interact with this browser, okay. So for interacting with this browser, we need a Selenium driver, okay. So it's very similar to our Uber or Ola, okay. So how it works, okay, like we used to book a car, and the driver will be driving to the path, right, okay. Like we will be just mentioning about the like location where we are going to reach, okay, destination location, and the driver is going to like drive it, okay. He is going to use the controls of the car to drive it, same thing, okay. So here we are going to have a driver to drive the things, okay. That's why it's called as a Selenium Web Driver. So we are going to do, okay. So and the latest version is Selenium 4.0, okay. So that's what we are going to see. And there won't be much differences with the Selenium 3 and 4, guys. It's just an upgraded version of Selenium 3. So almost I can say like a lot of companies still not migrated to Selenium 4. It was recently launched, I can say like 3 months. It's not even a 3 months old, okay. It was officially launched on, we have a lot of beta and alpha releases, just forget about it. But official release version is on October 2021, okay. So I can say like it's just a 3 months old product, okay. Selenium 4.0. And but we have Selenium 3.141, 3 is there in the market from 2010, early 2010, okay. And even the 3.141, the last version of the 3 was there in the market for, I can say like more than 2 years, because like they don't want to upgrade the Selenium 3. So they started focusing on Selenium 4. So they put everything on Selenium 4, and it was, I can say like it was, they put more than two years they were working on that product, okay. And then we have a Selenium Grid, okay. Selenium Grid is mainly used for parallel execution, okay. So we are going to do a parallel execution, okay. Like we are going to distribute our load, okay, as I told in the previous slides, okay. Like we don't like need to sit, okay, ideally, and we can do it, okay. So we can distribute our work, okay, and we can do on a multiple platform, okay. So if you see here, so we can distribute our scripts on a multiple devices or a multiple platforms using a Selenium Grid, okay. And it's one of the very nice concept to have it. But in order to demonstrate it, you need to have, yeah, well matured machines to handle it, yeah. There, so I can say like the basic concept of it you can easily understand. Might be in the school days you would have seen the computer labs associated with it. So you'll be having an up system, so then we'll be having a node systems, okay. So if you do some activities, or like if you distribute something in an app, okay, like the node system will be getting affected, or node system will be processed, okay. So that is the Selenium Grid, okay. So mainly I can say like we are going to use it for a parallel execution. And so we're going to distribute with the multiple machines and with multiple what I can say, like multiple browsers, again able to achieve it. Okay, so yeah, like these are the words might be like we have discussed it. Okay, so I'm just skipping on it. So then, yeah, that's a very important topic. Why we need to have a Python? Okay, so we saw about why Selenium is needed. Okay, why automation is needed. Okay, and so why Python is needed. This is a very important topic. Why Python stands over Java. Why Python is very important and why Python is leading a stage nowadays. Okay, so suddenly, like you can see the increase in a trend of Python. Okay, if you see the graph on a Google, okay, like you can see like, oh, what is the impact on Python 3 years ago or 5 years ago. Okay, so how it started like rising like a bar actually. Okay, so I can tell like Python is very old programming language. You won't believe. Okay, so Python is very old programming language. Okay, so I can say like its age is very similar to Java. Okay, so but Python was recently started the like or I can say like started getting popularity. Okay, so whereas a Java and JavaScript was like it was it was being a steady growth. Okay, like if you see like the waves, I can say like the Python was there in the trend, not even in the picture in 2010. Okay, so might be like, so after that, like slowly like it started rising the bar, I can say like. Okay, so now it was, if you want to search the top three programming languages available over the internet. Okay, so you can easily find Python is leading at least like first three portion. So it will be like JavaScript or Java or Python. Out of these three, so you can like various people will have a various mindset, various survey architectures. Okay, so I can say like out of top five, I can say like at least the top three you can get these three out of five, or like even top three will be like among these three. Okay, so yeah, and I can say like the Python with Selenium it was there from the even the old version. Okay, so I can say like from Selenium 2 we have Selenium like Python with Selenium with Python. Okay, but a lot of people are not using it. Okay, like they started again, they like was using Java predominantly because Java is like kind of the best tool for automation, they thought. Okay, but it's not the case. Okay, so you can say like, okay, so if you're going to do a 10 lines of code with Java, you can able to achieve it in 5 to 6 line with Python. Okay, the Python looks very similar to our English syntax guys. Okay, so like Python base was developed by AV programming languages. Okay, you can say like it's kind of a plain English. Okay, so what we are going to see in Python. Okay, so Python, it's almost kind of, I can say like the architecture and the things, it was outdated, and it's a, I can say like it's an interpreted programming language, whereas a Java is high level programming language. Okay, so you'll be, the high level means it uses compiler to compile it. Here it's going to use the interpreter to compile it. Okay, so but forget, just keep aside of the like the architecture and other terms. But so what we can see is in the Python is like, okay, so it uses very simple syntax. I can say like almost all the syntaxes are like very plain English. Okay, like so for example, I can say like here we don't need any might be, I can say like if you know about Java or C plus plus or C, so you'll be using a lot of brackets. Okay, you will be using braces, brackets, then colons, semicolons. Okay, like you will be getting like, then you get a lot of things like you want, if you want to declare a variable, you will be using int x equal to 10 or int 10 like a equal to 5 or something like that. Okay, but in case of Python, you literally don't need it. Okay, I can say like it's a plain simple English. Okay, like for example, if I want to assign a value, you will be just saying a equal to 10, that's it. So based on the value what we are mentioning, it will like calculate the data type of it. Okay, and so the as I told, it looks like a very English, like plain English. Okay, so that means like it's easy to read and learn and write. So you don't require a multiple like, or I can say like programming techniques to remember and to do it. Okay, it's a I can say like if you know the logic, if you know the like might be in a school days we would have like writing a pseudo code, right? The Python programs looks very similar to a pseudocode. Okay, so you can able to just, you will be like it's a, might be like I will show, might be at the time of demo, like we can see how the Python is going to work. Okay, so maybe a single simple program I can show. Okay, and again, it's a free and open source. Okay, we don't have any restriction to use a Python. So, and it's high level interpret programming language. As I told, it's going to use an interpreter to compile it, and it has a various library supports case, same like Java. Okay, so it's a large library supports. Okay, uh, libraries is nothing but like in jar like in Java we'll be calling as jars, in Python we'll be calling as libraries. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, like it's a might be if I want to tell in a local way, or you can understand, okay, colloquial way. So might be in a place where we'll be having a lot of apps, right? Okay, similarly, like we have a lot of libraries. Okay, so to make our job easy. Okay, so that's what. Okay, so then we have it you again, it's a user friendly data structures. Okay, like it's the syntax is very simple. So for example, if I want to add it, I can say like add. If I want to remove, dot remove, that's it. So if I want to clear, dot clear. Okay, so we'll be using a list name dot clear, list name dot add, list name dot clone. So it's a, by the name itself we can able to understand what actions you're going to do. Okay, and this is what I was talking about, dynamically typed language. So dynamically typed language means I can say like, okay, you don't need or you don't require to initialize the variable or initialize anything. Okay, so directly you can use it, and you can put on it. Okay, so that's why like I can call this is dynamically typed language. Okay, so for example, if you're giving int a equal to 10, so in other programming language it's not regular like a equal, you can just specify a equal to 10, or like x equal to hello. Okay, so that means like since it is a string, it will be calculating as a string. Okay, that's the beauty about thing. Okay, and the other thing is like, okay, we can customize the Python on our thing. Okay, if you want to write on object oriented way, we can able to do it. If you want to use a dynamic or thing, we can do it. Okay, so Python is again customizable. Okay, like whatever programming style you want to follow, you can do it on Python as well. Okay, and Python is portable and interactable. Portable in the sense, for example, like I don't want to use Python for some part, I'm going to integrate with Java, or like I'm going to use a C# code on it, you can use it, you are always welcome to use it. Okay, so suppose I can say like you have existing project. Okay, so which two modules are automated on Java. Okay, and now we are going to use Python for it. Okay, you can use it. Okay, so like we can like take that two modules, you can use a Java to run those alone, and rest you can run it on Python, you can program it on Python, it is achievable on Python. Okay, and the other important thing, as I told you earlier, if you're writing a 10 lines of code in Java, or like 10 lines of code in other programming language, you don't need it. Okay, so 3 to 4 lines of code will be sufficient to do on a Python. Okay, so I can say like Python is one of the most simplest programming languages like I have ever worked. Okay, I have worked with multiple programming languages. I can say like for beginner, so it will be like a cakewalk to learn. Okay, so I can say like it's very similar to our English syntaxes. Okay, how we are going to write might be in a school days we will have written a pseudo code, right? I can say like it's very similar to it. Okay, yeah. So then we can jump into a real quick demo session. So where I'm going to demonstrate a simple application. Okay, so how we are going to do it with manually, and then we are going to see like how we are going to do in an automated way. Okay, so we can take any simple example. Okay, might be I thought, okay, so you can go over with any of the thing. Okay, might be like I can go with Facebook or something like that. Okay, so might be like suppose you want to click on this create new account. Okay, so we are going to create it up. Okay, so probably like, so if you want to do manually, so what we will be doing. Okay, so we want to enter all the details. Okay, and might be like we need to fill in the drop down, and we need to click on the sign up. Okay, I'm not going to click on sign up, but I'm going to fill all the details. Okay, so and see like how it's going to work. Okay, so in case of manual, what we need to do, so first thing we need to launch the Facebook. Okay, so then after that we're going to click on the create new account. Okay, so then we're going to like demonstrate like we are going to sign up. Okay, so we are going to enter all the details. Okay, like might be the first name, surname, mobile number. Okay, everything will be filling, and might be then we'll be selecting some dates in it. Okay, and we are going to click on the sign up button. Okay, so except the sign up, we're going to see how it's going to work, because I don't want to create unnecessarily one account. Okay, so for demonstrating it or for writing a code, okay, so we are going to use Pycharm. Okay, so Pycharm is one of the popular IDE available. You can use Pycharm, or you can use Microsoft Visual Code for writing it. Even if you want, you can use Eclipse, but I will suggest to go with the Pycharm. Might be I will show you how to do it. Okay, so first let me give you the installation. Like might be like I will give you the steps to do it if required. Okay, so might be like I will quickly tell what you need to do. Okay, so first thing, you need to download Python guys. Okay, like you need to download a Python and install it. Without installing a Python, if you try to install Python, it won't work. Okay, first you need to install Python. Okay, you can go to Google and search Python. Might be like just hit a Google and search Python and download a latest version. Okay, so whichever it is. Okay, so just go here and click on the downloads. Okay, so this is the latest version. Again, uh, based on your version or based on your operating system, you can download it. But if you click on it, it will automatically download. Like if it is Java, sorry, like it's Windows, it's going to download a exe file. If it's Mac, it's going to download on that. Okay, so almost it again supports a lot of things. Okay, a lot of platforms as well. So just download it. Okay, and the installation is pretty simple. You need to follow the next steps associated to it. That's it. So then comes to installing a Pycharm. Okay, go to Pycharm. Okay, the Pycharm comes from the same company where IntelliJ is coming from. Okay, so it's from company JetBrains, guys. Okay, so go to download Pycharm directly, or you can navigate from here. Okay, so it offers two versions. Okay, one is the professional version, it's free, like it's a paid one. Okay, and then we have a community version. So it's free of cost. Okay, so like you can use this community version, because we are not going to do much with that, so we can use the community version to do it. So just click on it. Okay, and then download it. That's it. So then you are good to go. Okay, you don't need much like what I can say, like techniques to install it. It's just a simple installation. Okay, so how you're going to install a Zoom meeting or something. I can say like very simple thing. Okay, like you just need to follow the instruction whatever it's popping up. Okay, so once you install it, okay, it'll open up it like this. Okay, so you can create a new project if you want. Okay, so like new project. Okay, it'll show so where exactly you are going to store the project. Okay, you need to fill those information. Since I have it, I'm going to not doing it. Okay. So for automating Selenium, okay, so to doing it, we need two libraries, guys. Okay, so we're going to use two libraries to do like to automate it. Okay, so as I told, libraries is nothing but it's a package which going to support it. Okay, so here we're going to use Selenium package and one package for WebDriver manager. Okay, two things we are going to download. Okay, so you can again you can use this site. Okay, so PyPy. Okay, so for downloading it, just click on this. Okay, so you can see all the Python libraries here. Okay, almost if you see here. Okay, so how many projects you have and how many releases you have. Okay, so these are the users maintaining it. Okay, so you can find almost all the projects of Python over here. Okay, so in this, just search on Selenium. Okay, so from too little we can able to install it. Okay, I will stay like so. See, so just click on it. This is the latest version of Selenium. Okay, so if you click on it, it'll give you the steps to install. Okay, the pip install Selenium. Just copy this. Okay, and go here and put it on the terminal. Okay, just paste this. That's it. Now it's going to install it for you. Okay, so already I have it, so it won't be installed. Okay, uh, okay. So but in your case, it'll be downloaded. Okay, so then again we are going to install the WebDriver manager. Okay, so WebDriver manager. So as I said, it's a driver. It's used to do drive our scripts. Okay, we have different like we can download it manually from a Selenium website and we can use it. And this is an alternative way without downloading. Okay, for example, if I want to download, okay, again we need to go to selenium.dev. That's an official website. Then here click on the downloads. Okay, if we scroll down, okay, so you'll be having, so here this is the official website of Selenium, guys. Okay, so as I said earlier, okay, so we can find the list of languages Selenium supports. Okay, so like Go, Asel, JavaScript, Perl, PHP, or Dart. Okay, so apart from that, it supports all these languages, the popular one. Okay, C Sharp, Ruby, Java, Python, and JavaScript. So almost like it supports close to 12 languages. And coming to okay, the version, the browsers. Okay, again it supports almost all the popular browsers available in the market. So Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, Chrome, Edge. Okay, so now if I want to use a Chrome, okay, you just click on this. Okay, you need to download it. Okay, so based on the version whatever you have. Okay, like so if you see, go to the help means, like, sorry, if you go to the about means, you can see so what version you are using. I mean, this is the edge, guys. Okay, so like you can see like the edge is 97. So you'll be downloading the 97 version of it. Okay, so this is Chrome actually. So you need to navigate to Edge and you can need to download it. Okay, but if you're using WebDriver Manager, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, simply just install it. It's going to take care of for you. Okay, so just go here and type in this, and this is the one. Okay, just copy this. Okay, and same thing. Okay, so you go here and go to terminal. Okay, and paste it. That's it. So it's going to like update it. Okay, might be it's updating. I have the previous version, so now it's updating. Okay, and if you navigate down, okay, so it'll give you the list of comments also, how to use it. Like it's a very good website, guys. So you can again see this if you really require it. Okay, so and it'll give you the list of comments, how to use it. Okay, so you can get a clear documentation. Okay, so how you're going to use it. Okay, so I can say like it's one of a very good website to have it if you want to start your career with Python. Okay, okay, so then like we're going to create a simple module. Okay, so right click, so create, again create a package. Okay, I'm just creating as demo it's creating as demo Selenium. Okay, and I'm going to create one more file, Python file. Okay, might be I will say like Facebook. Okay. So Python file will be created with an extension .py. Okay, then we are going to first import the Selenium, guys. Okay, like we'll increase bit of font from Selenium. Okay, import WebDriver. Okay, this is the first step. You need to import it. Okay, so then we are going to import the libraries for WebDriver Manager from WebDriver Manager dot Chrome import from driver manager. Okay, that's it. So now, so we are good to go. Okay, so driver equal to, we're going to assign it, guys, driver dot Chrome. Okay, then we're going to say like we are going to install it, right? We are going to install it. Okay, so Chrome driver manager dot install. Okay, so this is going to install Chrome for us. Okay, so then we are going to launch it. Okay, so I can say like driver dot get. Okay, so I'm going to launch the facebook.com. Okay, so first we can see whether it is working. Just copy this and I'm just closing the unwanted stuff, guys, to make it clean, and paste it. Okay, that's it. Now if you run it, okay, so you can notice the Chrome driver is getting installed. Okay, see, it will launch it. Okay, forget about it. So we see here, so you can see like 97 is the version I have, the Chrome version, and it is downloading the same version 97.0. Okay, and we can find the driver. Okay, so we can find this on this folder. Okay, so where it is getting downloaded. Okay, so if you look here, okay, so it will download a version. Okay, so we see here I have used a different version. Okay, like So on a lot of other dates, okay, like it's a 94 version, okay, and 94 with 41 61, okay. After that I'm running today, okay. So it's getting downloaded, okay. So if you see here, so we are getting a file, and we are getting one more, okay, as a zipped file, okay. So it will unzip it on its own, and it will have it, okay. So if you want to do it manually, so you need to specify this path and other stuffs, but if you're using this, you don't require it anything, okay. So then like we got this, okay. So might be like we can maximize this page, okay. It's simple, guys. Driver dot, okay. So maximize window, it's going to maximize for you, okay. So then what we are going to do, we're going to click on this, okay. I'm going to use this, okay. So we're going to click on the create new account, okay. So Selenium supports 8 locators, guys. 8 way of identifying an object, okay. Locators is nothing but how we are going to identify objects, okay. So I can say like it's kind of an address, like we are going to specify, okay. So as a human, how you will be, so you will be addressed, okay. So you'll be having a name to you, might be an SSN number, okay. So or like if I want to reach your place, okay, you will be having some address specified it, same thing, okay. So if I want to reach this element, particular element, how I can say Selenium to do it. As a human, I can see, like I can read it, it's a email address, okay. But how Selenium will understand whether this I want to enter some value over here, how I can tell them, okay. So for that, Selenium have 8 locators, okay. So we have 8 locators like ID, name, class name, then tag name, okay. Then we have link text, then we have partial link text, then we have XPath, and we have CSS, okay. So we can identify the element on 8 ways, okay. Obviously, like each one comes with some pros and cons, like where we need to use, okay. So we can see that in detail, okay. But in real time, so mostly, okay, I will suggest, or I will give a recommendation to use either XPath or CSS, okay, to do it, okay. So you don't need or like you don't require to use any of the other, okay. So mostly like it will be giving a perfect result for you, like if you're using XPath or CSS, okay. But again, you can use any of this, like there won't be any restriction, okay. It's only thing is like you want to make sure like the identifying element is unique, okay. So unique means like I can directly access that element, okay. Suppose, okay, you're getting a courier, guys, okay. So make I'll keep it simple, okay. You are getting a courier, and you want to reach that, like the person is the courier person is calling you, okay. So you will be giving an address, right, okay. Suppose you are in a big flats, okay, like where apartments, I can say like we have 10 or 15 buildings, okay. And you'll be saying like might be like third floor, second house, or something like that. You will be navigating from you, right. So same thing, okay, we are going to provide it, okay. So it needs to be unique, that's it, okay. Suppose if it is a famous land, like space, okay, like might be I can say like a hospital or something, it does not requires an address. So if you just provide the name, automatically like it's going to do it for you, okay. So I can say like same thing, okay. So here also it's going to work, okay. Okay, so for a famous things you don't need it, okay. So the only thing you want to remember is like, so if you're getting you need to have the one of one matching. If you are getting a one of one, that means like you are good to go, and it will works fine for you, absolutely, okay. So how to identify an object is like, okay, so you need to inspect it, guys. So for all the browsers, it's the same command, okay. So you can either use F12 to do it, or you can just right click here, okay, and click on the inspect element, okay. It's pretty simple, okay. So you can give F12, okay, or right click and click on the inspect element, okay. Right click, okay, right click and inspect element, okay. And you can see kind of dev options coming up, okay. So what we are going to do is like we're going to use this like for identifying it, okay. So just use this pencil kind of an icon over here on the left side, okay. So then click on this, okay, and whatever elements we need, okay, just highlight it, okay. Suppose we're going to click on this create new account, just click on that, okay. And it will list down all the properties associated to it. Okay, the first thing is called okay, the first piece is called as a, what I can say, like it's a tag name. Okay, so then this role is called as an attribute, and this is called as a value. Okay, so we are going to use this to identify an object. Okay, uh if you see here, okay, this is called as an id. Okay, like we have an id, right? Okay, but it's a dynamically generated, so obviously we can't use it. But for few elements the id will not be like, will be unique. Okay, so on these cases we can use the id. Okay, but here like id is not unique. Okay, like it's a dynamically generated. If you see here, okay, suppose I'm using the Facebook, in might be here already we opened it, right? So if you look here, okay, if I try to inspect this particular element, okay, and just click on it. Okay, so if you see here on, okay, might be I will change the view so that you can see it better. You see, this is id we got in a Google Chrome. And coming to edge, so we got a different one. Okay. So see, the last is mo over there, and here it's je. Okay, so that means like ids are dynamically getting popped up, so we can't use it. Okay, uh, then we need to go with an alternative approach. Okay, for few elements we don't need it. Okay, so it will work on it one, but for few elements you need this, like you're going to use it. Okay, so let's jump into writing an XPath. Okay, driver dot, how we are going to find an element. Okay, so it's what it's going to say. Okay, so like we're going to find an element by XPath. Okay, so we can discuss this in upcoming session. Okay, so how to write an XPath and other stuff. Okay, so I don't want to get deep into it, so it will be like you won't understand much. Okay, so then I'm going to write some XPath. Okay, so I can write like this, /a of equal to single quotes. Okay, so whatever the text we have we can write it. Okay, so it's like it's a create new account, right? So create new account, that's it. Okay, so once you write it, okay, you will be getting like 1 of 1. Okay, so if you look here, okay, so you're getting as 1 of 1. That means like this particular element is one, so it's good to go. Okay, some elements will give like 2 of 1 or 3. I will show in the next slide. Okay, so that means like you can't use those. Okay, like it won't work properly. Okay, so so if it is 1 of 1, that means like it's good to go and you can use it. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Okay, that's it. Now we are going to find an element by XPath. We found it. What we are going to do, we're going to click on this, right? So dot click, that's it. So what we are going to do, so we are going to navigate it and we are going to click on it. So it's pretty simple, guys. So I will say I am going to open up Facebook. So driver.get facebook.com, I'm opening it. So after that, what I'm going to do, so after opening it, so I'm going to like maximize the window. It's like I'm maximizing it. Okay, I'm just clicking on it and I'm maximizing it. Okay, so after that, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to click on it. Okay, click on the create new account. That's what we are seeing the flow, right? So first we are opening it, so then we are going to click on this to like open up the create new account page. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. Okay, so then we're getting some kind of a pop-up. So it's not a pop-up, guys. Okay, so you can able to inspect this too. Okay, so if you see here, we can able to inspect this too. Okay, so these are the properties, okay, for that element. Okay, like if you see here, okay, so these are the properties of it. Okay, and if you inspect it, it will give you the properties. Okay, it will say again you will be getting a same thing. Okay, so it will be, this is tag name, and before equal to whatever it's coming, it's a attribute, and it's a what I can say, it's a value. So if you see here, okay, so we have a name, okay, we have an ID. So if you have a name, okay, so in the last time we don't have it, okay, it's not necessary. It should have everything, okay, guys, okay, like so in this case, it has it, so we can directly use the name. You don't need to write an XPath, okay. So I'm directly using it. From what we are going to know after that, so might be like we are going to write driver dot find element by name, okay. The name is this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to enter some value. So entering some value is nothing but send keys, okay. So we're going to key in some values over it, okay. I can say like it's send keys, whatever I need, okay. I'm saying is hello, okay. But I am going to say like any name associated to it, okay. So again, it's obviously like whatever you're going to enter, it's going to enter on that particular field, okay. So then we're going to enter the same thing, okay. So driver dot find element by, so then again name or XPath, anything, okay. So whatever you need, you can use it, okay. So then you're going to enter the surname, okay. So might be have this last name, I'm entering here, okay. Then dots send keys, okay. I'm just entering as hello world. It does not mean like you want to give only this or that, okay. So there is no compulsions on doing it, okay. So whatever you want, you can do it on your own, okay. So there is no restrictions like are using it or something like that, okay. So it will work, okay. So it's going to work for everything, okay. So then we got it, okay. Like we open this, okay. So might be then what we are going to do, okay. So we are going to enter the same thing. We're going to repeat the same process for the the other two fields, okay. So yeah, I guess we have a name, but it is with the underscore. I don't want to take it, okay. So might be I'm going to go with another text, okay, like the area label, okay. So it's double slash input at this, okay. Just modify into single quotes, but in Python you can use double quotes too, that's not an issue. Then it's a XPath, right? Driver dot find element by XPath, then start send keys, okay. So might be I'm giving some text at email.com, okay. So I'm just providing as text this email.com, okay. Same process I can repeat for the next two fields, okay. So it's for password already, might be we have an ID directly, so I can use that. This it's ID, okay. I'm just giving as password as 1234 ABCD, okay. So it's again like we can play around with a lot of things, guys, okay. So then we're going to select from a drop down, okay. So for selecting from a drop down, okay, so we have an inbuilt method in Selenium is select, okay, to do it, okay. So it's comes with a class, so we need to import it, okay. So for importing it, okay, so obviously like it will support on its own, but we can directly import it, okay. So from Selenium dot web driver, okay, dot support dot UI, okay. So then import select, okay. So obviously it will throw an thing, okay. You don't need to do, but again I will suggest to create it, okay. So what we are going to do is like we are going to create a associated object, okay. So for creating an object, it's pretty simple here, okay. So it's class name space object name, okay. So in Python it's pretty simple, guys, okay. You don't need much complex things to do, okay. I can directly use it like this, okay. For example, say like it's a date, right? Day, anything, okay, equal to, you can say like select off, okay. So whatever we're going to do, so we're going to select something from here. So we need to obviously have it. So I'm just taking ID. So driver dot find element by ID. Okay, or ID. Then with this, I can use it. Day dot. Okay, so if we use this, okay, it will give you all the options. Okay, by three ways you can select a value from a drop down. Select by value, select by index, and select by visible text. Okay, so visible text means whatever value available in a UI, we're going to do it. Okay, so for example, I'm going to select 22 or 21. I can just give 21. Okay, obviously it's going to select 21. Don't write. Don't need to write anything. Okay, don't need to look back. Okay, if it is an index, okay, so it's basically it's going to start from 0. Okay, the first value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so if I give 3, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will select 4. It's the index. Okay, so okay, it's visible text. Okay, so whatever it's available in a UI, we're going to use a visible text of it. Okay, and you need to use in a double quotes, guys. Okay, so always remember. Okay, so only index will be integer, rest of all we'll be giving in a double quotes. Okay, suppose I just want to print all the values from a drop down. Okay, so I just want to verify it. Yeah, that's also possible. Okay, simply you can write a for loop for any value. Okay, something d in a dot options. Okay, it's going to print you all the options. Okay, and d dot text, it's going to print out all the values for you. Okay, so now let's run and see what it's doing. I guess we need to have some wait time. Okay, so if you see here, it says unable to locate an element because our scripts are too fast in nature. So it's not like it's could not able to find it. So probably like we can introduce a wait here. Okay, driver dot implicitly wait. Okay, so here it takes two parameter. Okay, so how much time to wait, and okay, so I'm just giving us 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Okay, so you can do it. Okay, or if you want to specifically wait for a particular element, even that we can do it. So as of now I'm not going to do. Okay, I'm going to simply introduce time dot sleep. Okay, to use it. Okay, but in real time you can see like how it's going to work. Okay, it's we're going to make it. Wait for 2 seconds, guys, and we're going to use it. But we have a lot of, you don't need to do it in a real time. Okay, we have a lot of wait concepts to do handle it, but it will be kind of confusing for you guys now, so it's not required. Okay, I'm just looking whether we have anything in the iframe. It's not here, so it should work. Let's run it once. Okay, see, like it's entering it. Okay, so then we got a new field, might be after entering it is popping up. Okay, so that's why like it's waiting. Okay, obviously like we don't have that particular field, so it's waiting it. Okay, so it's waiting for a random input. Okay, and again we have provided wrongly the, if we look here, intentionally given it wrongly, so it will say it will wait for 30 seconds, it will look for an object and it will wait for 30 seconds and it will throw an exception. Okay, so I just provided intentionally so to make sure like you guys can see it. Okay, so it will say like no such element. Okay, and where it is happening on, it says like unable to locate an element. Okay, and it will give you the line number where it is happening, and it will give you the selector. Okay, what selector you are using, and see. So if you look here, okay, if we go back and look for the selector, so obviously like we don't have that particular thing. Okay, see, so we have the ID, so this is the one. Okay, so I have provided a bracket extra to it, so that's why it is throwing an error. If you see here, this is ID, but after that I have provided a bracket. So if you take out, it's going to work. Okay, similarly like it's going to select the dates. Let's run it again and see it's working. Okay, see, now it's selected 21, guys. That's a value I have posted, And to print all the values, I used a for loop, and now it's printed all the values. See how quick it has. Okay, so in order to do manually, it will take a lot of time. Okay, but if it's a one time activity, like you can't see any return on investment, guys. But if you're going to do the same activity on a multiple platform, okay, or like multiple devices, then obviously like it's a good choice. Now we have run it on like Chrome. Okay, suppose I just need to run on a Edge. Okay, just simply here we need to mark it as Edge. So it's Microsoft. Okay. Edge Chrome driver. Okay, we have two things: Edge Chrome driver and something like that. Okay, so that's it. Like we need to do this. Okay, so obviously now it's going to image. That's it, guys. Okay, so just hello.
Yes, yeah, go ahead. I muted everybody again because of the background noise.
Okay, okay, sure, sure, sure. Got it. Yeah.
So if you guys have a question, I can unmute again.
Okay. Yeah. So might be like, see, like if you change these two parameters, guys, now we can able to perform on Edge or something like that. Okay, like you need to just make sure like you are giving it. So now it's going to work on Edge also. Okay, that's it. So whatever browsers you have, okay, for example, if simply like if you want to use a Firefox, I don't have Firefox in my machine, but we want to run on Opera or something like that. Okay, just you need to change these two parameters. That's it. It's going to run for you. Okay. I hope it's clear for the demo. Might be like we can see more on this on upcoming sessions, guys. Okay. So any doubts or like you have anything so that
Hello.
we can go one by one.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I have one doubt. Uh, how can you set expert?
Yeah. Like so. See, like we have a lot of techniques to write an XPath. Okay. So I can say like uh, we can able to do an export with simply 8 ways. Okay, so we can see in detail. Okay, so if you ask that question here, I can't able to explain you, but I can say like you can able to write export on your own. It won't take much time. Okay, so might be if you, since you are asking, I will give you a simple tip. Okay, so all the exports should start with a double slash because it's a we are going to write a dynamic for dynamic elements. We are going to write a relative export. Yeah, always you will be writing with a relative export. Okay, so it should start with a double slash. Okay, so then we are going to have the tag name. Okay, so then we need to use this array bracket, then add attribute equal to single quotes value. This is how the simple XPath will looks. Okay, so we have a lot of complex XPaths we can see in upcoming sessions how to write it. Okay, so a
Uh,
simple XPath should looks like this.
can you set a copy expert from the inspect element and then add
No,
it
it
into the?
won't work. It won't work. For example,
Uh,
okay, so I will show the real example. Okay, suppose okay, just a second. Okay, so like you want to like inspect this particular element. Okay, so and if you simply right click and copy XPath. Okay, so it will give you XPath associated to an ID. Okay,
yes, yes.
but this ID will be changing runtime. Okay, so I showed a demo, right? This was changing runtime, so that means like obviously you can't use it. Okay, I can say like now all the modern day websites, okay, like are very smart. Okay, so it's again testers needs to be like getting killed on it, but almost they are using a tool, okay, to generate these IDs. Okay, like so they don't need to name it each time. Okay, so they're just simply using a tool to do it. So it will generate a random number or random string on its own. Okay, so you can't use it. Okay, the same XPath will not work. Okay, suppose this is the one we copied, right? Okay, so I'm just putting on the code to show you. Okay, so instead of this name, used XPath. Okay. Just pasting it here. Now I'm just trying to run it. It will say like the particular element XPath is not there. Since I put a wait time, it will wait for 30 seconds before throwing an error. Maybe I would have reduced the wait time. That's fine. Okay. See, so it is said like no such element. Okay, we don't find an element on that. So previously we got a different error. Okay, so now it's stating like no such element. That means like the particular element is not there. Okay, so even you can search this value. Okay, with the site opened. Okay, this is the site open now. The last one is the one which it's open. You can inspect it. Okay, you can just simply do a control F and paste it. See, we don't have that. If you look for this field, okay, so now if you copy this element, okay, right click copy, expand, it will be provided a different one. Might be like I'm pasting here. See, it's previously it is UUB02, now it's U2BKR. So obviously like you can't use it. Okay. And always the other thing, okay, so don't go with any tools. Okay, there are a lot of tools available in the market to spy and provide the XPath. Okay, but it won't work on a real time. Okay, for example, if you're going on a financial project, okay, like kind of a banking project, obviously you can't install those third party things. Okay, so obviously you need to write on your own. So while learning itself, I will suggest you to go over with on your own instead of using a tool.
Can we use a Selenium ID as to find the expert?
Yeah, we can use it, but again, okay, the first preference will be given to ID. Okay, so it won't work. Okay, so I will say, okay, it won't take even a minute to write an XPath. Okay, it will be very easy, guys. Believe me. So instead of going with the different tools and spending time, so you can write on your own. Okay, it's just like a formula. Okay, max formula.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, hi. So I have a question.
yeah,
Um,
go ahead, yeah.
I see like we are insisting to learn Python, and but very less companies, opt Python or give opportunity to testing to go with Python. So how much effective it will be if learning Python when compared to Selenium or other tools like UFT? Could you please give us some insight?
Yes, see. So the advantage of going with the Python is okay. So UFT is nowhere in the marketplace. Okay. So I will say like UFT is outdated. Okay. I can say like out of 10 companies, 2 companies are using UFT. Okay. So UFT is totally outdated. So there is one more tool like it's emerging. It's called Tosca. So it's again cost of like you need to pay VAV license for it. Okay. So it's on the license side. On the open source, there are a lot of tools, okay, like Selenium Web Driver, IO, okay, a lot of things, okay. In that, I can say like Selenium is the like main. I can say like it's a pioneer, okay. So it's there in the industry for a decade, and so almost I can say like it can able to handle everything, okay. So obviously like Selenium will be first choice, okay. So coming to your second question, language, why Python, okay. So we can implement Selenium with Java, C Sharp, Python, Java, any languages. Okay, so but the advantage of going with the Python is like okay, so you can learn easily. Okay, and also like as I guess I'm not sure whether you joined a session from the beginning. I told if you learn Selenium with any languages, you can able to implement Selenium with other languages as well. For example, now you are learning Selenium with Python, you can implement Selenium with Java on your own. The only thing is like you want to know Java. That's it. The Selenium commands will be exactly the same thing. Okay, there won't be any much this like there will be like syntax differences, but the commands say that it will be same 8 locators, there will be same expand, there will be same send keys, there will be same click. Okay, so everything will be the same. Okay, And coming to why Python is popular, again, say like, okay, so if we learn Python, okay, your opportunity is not only limited to testing, guys. Okay, so you can use the Python for if you want to go into like kind of learning a machine learning, or if you want to go into an artificial intelligence, still you can use it. It's not limited to like only the testing opportunity. Okay, so if, for example, if you want to automate kind of like if you want to be a data miner, or if you want to do data warehouse testing, you can use a Python. If you want to do lot of analytics, you can use it. Machine learning, you can use it. So all, so compared to Java, you can learn Python very easily. Okay, so as I said earlier, if you want to have 10 minutes of Python, or like 10 lines of code in Java, you can able to complete in 5 to 6 minutes with Python. Okay, yeah, so can yeah, obviously noted the base, the core concept we are going to teach. Okay, so whatever we are going to see, like we are going to see the full-fledged Python core concept, which is necessary. I can say like it's kind of a foundation. We'll be laying it. So after that, so you want to learn about few tools on the machine learning to make you expert on it. So this is more than sufficient. I can say like with this course, we'll be touching upon the all the foundation we'll be laying on the Python. You can able to like go out with other opportunities in future if needed.
Hello, my name is Mani. I just have two questions. One thing is, what are the advantages we are having if we are using Python? If you are using Python with for Selenium, apart from Java, keeping aside Python is a easy to learn language. Are there any other benefits by using Python with Selenium? And second question is, does the application language on which it was written has something to do with the automation language that we use with Selenium?
Yeah, so yeah, there was no difference. Okay, so you can write same thing. Okay, so it's going to work on a similar way like how Java with Selenium with Java works. The same way it's going to work for Selenium with Python too. There is no such differences. Okay, so see, as I told earlier, it's just a language binding. Okay, so we are going to communicate uh, to the browsers. Okay, state like, okay, for example, we have a different languages. So now we are communicating with English, so everyone understand it. Suppose like we have a different language. Suppose like so you have Tamil, we have Telugu, we have Hindi. Okay, so you have different language, Urdu, Malayalam, something. So like it's just a medium to communicate to the browser. Okay, suppose I'm going to communicate in my local language. For example, I'm going to communicate in Tamil. So like I can make understand if the person knows Tamil. Okay, uh, for example, if the person knows Telugu, like we are going to communicate on Telugu. That's it. So, for example, for computer, it will be the same computer. Okay, there won't be any differences between the Tamil or Telugu. Like, so we are going to communicate to the computer on the same thing. Okay, there won't be any differences. There won't be. I can say like there is no such advantages other than um, like the coding and the Python part. Okay, so for with Selenium, I don't think like there won't be any differences like in writing a code style or like running it. So and coming to the next question, okay. So again, it won't be any issues, okay. So whatever application it's hosted on the internet, it will be on JavaScript, okay. It will be like in HTML5, and it will be on a JavaScript. Which language you used to write, okay. So you used to write on AngularJS or React.js or PHP. So everything, all the websites at the end, it's going to hosted on a JavaScript, okay. So you don't need to worry on that part, guys, okay. um you can whatever websites, okay, be it a cloud platform or be it what I can say like MuleSoft, anything, okay. So it's hosted on a website. You can able to automate on any programming language, Python or Java, anything, okay. So that won't be an issue.
And also, guys, as a training company, we conducted a webinar as one of the poll, right, in between the keyword industry. So we found like the first language that something is in demand with the Selenium is Java, and second is a Python. So Python is grabbing the market. A lot of applications are getting automated in the Python. So this is based on the our survey that we did it within the QA community. So we have a lot of community we have created like for manual automation engineer. So that's something we did a survey. I'm going to send a link to you guys. Okay, and if you want, you can join our jobs portal as well. Okay, in case anybody looking for a job change as well. Any other question, guys? Still, we have 5 more minutes, so please go ahead and we can answer all of your questions.
Yes. Hello.
One
This is
question.
Saloni.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So actually, my question is when we will use XPath and CSS locator? Like any specific reason means when? What is the means? My question is what is the main purpose of
Correct.
using this locator?
Yeah,
Yeah.
out of 8, you are asking why these two are preferred. Yeah, so I can say like, okay, so uh, again, like nowadays all the elements are dynamic in nature. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, and few elements will not have any tags associated to it. Okay, so it will not have anything. Okay, so like name or ID, so or class name. So we can't pick it from that. Okay, so we'll be having like so I told, right, so if you spy on any of the element, okay, so it will change element to element. Okay, so if we see here, so in this for this element, okay, I might be like I will go back to this. Yeah, so if you see this particular element, okay, we have everything. Okay, like name, class name, okay, then data type, so we have everything, ID. Okay, so only like four things we can use. Okay, one is input, there is tag name. Okay, so then the class name, a name and ID. Okay, so apart from that, this data type and all we can't cover directly. We need to write an XPath or CSS. And we already saw like ID is ineffective because like it's dynamically changing, and we can go with the name. So it's working fine in this case. Suppose you have some fields, okay, where we don't have any name associated to it. Okay, suppose like okay, so if you look on this particular element, okay, so we have a class name. Okay, so we don't have anything. Okay, so we don't have an ID, we don't have a name. Okay, so obviously we can't find it. So then this XPath or CSS will be effective on that case. If we don't have anything to find it, so with XPath or CSS you can able to do it. Okay, so I will give you a simple thing. Okay, so XPath is very similar to writing an address, guys. Okay, like so we are going to tell your address, the mode of communication. Okay, so you will be providing, as I said earlier, so we'll be providing a tag name, attribute and the value associated to it. There are multiple ways. I can say like with 8 or 10 ways maximum we can able to write a beautiful XPath, and it can able to handle all the elements. So either XPath or CSS is more sufficient. Almost all the companies, I can say like 80% of the companies, or even 90% I can say, like are using XPath. So you don't need to be master on two. Either of one will be more than sufficient.
I have one question. Hello,
Yeah,
Sajid.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is like, is there any way to create a Maven project in the Python?
Oh no, we don't have any such tool in Python. Okay, so
So,
Python is just to make things simple, guys. Okay, so yeah, it's not too much complicated things. Okay, so it's we are going to keep it quite simple. So we don't have anything. Okay.
how it will handle the dependencies then?
So, like here we have something called virtual environment. Okay, so we can just put the dependencies on like text file or JSON file, and we can upload it, and it's going to download on its own. Okay, so you don't need to create it. Okay, so only Java has this. Okay, like might be like if we do JavaScript also, we don't have those future. Okay, so we will be using like the separate file, and we'll be pasting all the dependencies whatever we need it, and it's going to download. Okay, so if it is JavaScript, it's going to use npm commands, and in Python it's going to use pip commands, pip. Okay,
Yeah,
to do it.
got
Yeah,
it. The same you
correct,
use the
correct.
terminal in the
Yeah.
beginning. Okay, got it. Thank you.
So we can
Hi,
use,
Vignesh.
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
of
which language is better for
the
machine
program.
learning? Either it is Python or R.
So like if you want to do have a user friendly thing, I will suggest Python. If you like, if you have a good programming skills and you can able to understand a lot of logics, then R will be good. So if you want to have in a readable way, Python will be good. Okay.
Hello.
Like what
Hello.
actually market demands currently now for
Both,
machine learning
see,
and
like
artificial
I can say like
intelligence?
it's kind of a, like eye to eye, so there won't be any differences. Okay, you can able to achieve whatever you can able to do with R with and Python, but R you might require a lot of programming skills. Okay, like the program itself, like it won't be clear to understand compared to Python. Okay, so Python is plain English based, basic English. You can able to easily understand it.
Yeah, Vignesh.
Yeah,
In the fourth line of code, you're using driver manager dot install, right?
yeah.
In that line, each and every time that driver will download from net or what?
Yeah, it will download from internet. Okay, if you have that,
Every
it
time.
will check this file. Okay, so it will check this location. If it is as, it will go ahead and execute. If you don't have this particular version, it will download. Okay, so it will just look for your current browser drive like version, and it will download. So that's a specialty of it. So same thing we are going to use in Java as well. Okay.
Is there any framework for object repository and reporting?
Yeah, like we have like so we are going to use here also BDD style. Like here we don't have Cucumber. It's py behavior, so very similar to it. So we have a reporting, like we have a lot of inbuilt reporting. We have all your reporting associated to it. So we're going to see those things. Okay. So and for object repository, so we're going to use a page object model, or we can use JSON files or XML files to handle it. So there are multiple ways. So as I told, it's a customize. We can able to customize things, guys. Okay. So it's like how you're going to arrange as per your need. Okay. So you have a like it gives you the skeleton. Okay. So again, you need to arrange it. Okay. So this I need to keep here, or this I need to like have here. Okay. So kind of a skeleton we're going to bring, and we're going to like put it together, and we're going to perform it. Okay. So
Yeah, hi. Good evening.
yeah.
Think there is any reporting in Selenium itself, or we would use TestNG or
Yeah,
other.
inbuilt Selenium does not have any reporting. Okay, so we need to use any unit testing framework to have a reporting, or external libraries to have a reporting. Okay, so
Uh,
TestNG is for Java. Here we have
yes, yes.
PyUnit, and we have PyTest, very similar to TestNG. Okay, so it's PyTest here. So and very similar to Cucumber, we have PyBehave. Okay, so it's a kind of a one-to-one mapping. Okay, it's almost whatever features you see in a Cucumber or a
Mhm.
Py, TestNG, you can see it in PyTest and PyBigger. Okay, so it has a reporting, guys. It has a very good reporting, and also like if you want, you can go with any external reporting like Allure or Extend anything. Okay, so on the report on your choice.
Okay, and this can be integrated with Jenkins as well. The
Yeah, this
code.
can be integrated with Jenkins as well. Yeah, so
Okay.
I have one question here.
yeah.
Since you have shared this link, if someone wants to opt for this course, will it be also helpful for a person who doesn't know about much about programming and all?
So the course will be starting from the beginners level. Okay, so we are going to start like how to write a first line of code. Okay, so it's not like we're going to jump directly into Selenium. Okay, so first the initial part will be like how to script on Python. So we are going to like basically it's kind of a pure hands-on session, guys. Okay, like how we demonstrated today. So it will be like pure hands-on session. We are going to see like how we are going to like launch, like how to create a variables. Okay, and might be like so then how to use it, how to write a conditions, how to loop it. So
Yeah.
everything I want to see. Okay, so it's kind of from a beginner to expert level.
And as it says, it's a SDET automation. So, I mean, after this course, would I be able to apply for such jobs which are looking for an experienced SDET?
Yeah, you can do obviously, like you can do, yeah.
So, how much kind of effort would be required from a candidate? I mean,
I can say like okay, like daily 1 hour, it's more than sufficient. Okay, if you're able to like, for example, if you're meeting up 6 hours per week, right? Okay, so if you're able to translate the 6 hours on the weekdays, that will be more than sufficient. You can able to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and just want to add more thing here, right? So after every session, you will be given an assignment. Okay,
Okay.
and those assignments you have to complete if you are able to complete those assignments. So and like these trainings will be over the weekend, right? So you can continue your job wherever you are working. Every Saturday, Sunday, there will be classes. You complete the classes and do the assignment based on your flexibility during the weekday. And when the next class will be there, so Vignesh will first say complete have a lot of discussion over the assignments. And if you have any doubt, just clear your doubt with the trainer, and then the next topic will be covered.
Okay, great. Good to know that there will be assignments, because otherwise, just go with the training would not that effective until we get
Correct.
assignments.
So just want to let you know, there will be each session will be recorded. First, have any kind of the theoretical session, it's going to be hands-on. First, trainer will do in his machine, and then you have to do along with the trainer. Okay, it's a completely hands-on. So it's not like one way, because this is a webinar. So we kept everybody on the mute because of the because you have to keep the quorum into this session, right? But during the session, there will not be more than the 15 participants. It's a small batch, okay, and it's a one-to-one session kind of. You can discuss with trainer, and even if you have any doubt, trainer will stay post session, and you can clear your doubt as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ketan. How can we contact after this webinar?
So we are posting our numbers over the chat. You can reach out to us.
Cool, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ketan.
Have a great.
Thanks, Vignesh, for the
Yeah,
session.
thanks. Take care.
And
Yeah.
guys, requesting to all of you, please submit a Google review. Okay, so Vignesh did a very good job while presenting it, right? And so it will be nice, and it will be motivating to Vignesh if you share each feedback on Google.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I have two queries. Can I ask you?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
go ahead.
please go ahead.
Yeah. This is to know, for me, as a fresher or an experience, Selenium with Python or Selenium with Java is best. Uh, that is my first question. My second question is, can we experience any difference by using of Selenium with Python or Selenium with Java? Like, can we experience? Like, these are my two questions.
Okay, so see again, it's a personal choice of choosing a tool, right? Okay, so for example, okay, if you are so again, okay, it's like okay, so you are going to buy a car from Tata, or you are going to buy a car from like Suzuki or some other company, okay. So it's a two different things, okay. You can again you're going to achieve a same thing what you're going. For example, even the Tata car is going to like perform same thing as a Maruti or Suzuki, something, okay. So it's like okay, so you're going to say the destination. It's a from a different thing. That's it. So there won't be any differences on it, okay. But according to market, okay, the Python is grooming much, and I will say like Java is still also key. The first preference will be given to Java, and then to Python. But if you are beginner, or like if you are poor in programming, okay, so I just want to learn automation, but I could not able to learn much coding. I don't want to like spend hours of coding, okay. So I told in a previous question, I told like if you're able to spend 1 hour or 2 hour per day, you can able to like easily like able to achieve the expert level. But in case of Java, you need to put a lot of efforts compared to Python, okay. So that's a basic thing, okay. So again, it's your wish whether you need to choose a Java or Python. So now I can say like it's Python is also growing. So I won't say like their opportunities are limited. Like if you choose Python, okay, there won't be anything like that, okay. So again, as told earlier, if you learn one language, you can able to work with Selenium with Java too. If you're given an opportunity, there won't be any barrier on it, okay. So obviously so the course whichever you are going to take, either with Java or Python, that will be helpful for you
Yeah.
irrespective of the languages.
Means yeah, like your whole conclusion is Python will be the best more than Java.
Yeah, if you are like based on your coding skill, okay, like I am not the right person to tell
No,
like on
no.
your coding skill, but I will say like, okay, if you are a beginner or if you are poor in coding, then definitely like Python will be
No,
the
but
easiest choice for you.
No,
but
like
still,
if they have,
sorry to interrupt. But still, you people are more interacted with the market, and you can probably guide us whether Java. See, everyone is having engineering, right?
Okay,
So everyone is known with the
okay,
programming. So
okay,
probably you can help to understand whether which line we should opt for.
okay, got it. Okay, might be I will say like, okay, so out of 10, okay, so I can say like 6 openings will be on Java and 4 will be on Python. Now, okay, it's a trend down till 2021. Okay, might be this will change. Okay, so I can say like lot of new projects. Okay, so which is going to start. Okay, the last 3 years I'm seeing like there is a trend. A lot of companies started using Python, okay, compared to Java, because they are going to convert the manual testers to automation. So they have the manual testers, they don't want them to be as a manual tester, they're going to train them and to make as automation. Okay, so on that note, for the manual testers, they felt, okay, the company is feeling, they felt, okay, so the Python will be the easiest choice, and they are converting it. Okay, so already we have a legacy or scripts which are running for 10 years, no one is going to touch it, right? So they will be going with the Java. For example, if you are having a it's like building a house or something like that, right? So if you're having a house, okay, already built, you will be like renovating it and you'll be using it. So if you want to going to build a house on new, then you will be building on your choice. Okay, that's a difference. So it's again a personal preference, like either a Java or Python. So I will say like the market is wide open, guys. It's not for Java or Python. Okay, so the as a interview, okay, like it's for, if they will be looking for Selenium. Okay, if for example, if you are going to attend a Selenium, like it's mentioned as Selenium with Java, but you are attending as a Selenium with Python, no one say like we are looking for only Java candidates and they're going to reject you. So you can believe me. Okay, so it's going to, you can able to still attend with your Python skills and you can able to clear it. Even I can say like in my team, okay, I have 2 resources who does not know Java, just like we interviewed as a Python resource, and now they are working on Java. Okay, so it's again there won't be any differences. Okay, so does it answer my question, your question, sorry, like so I will say
Yes,
like, okay,
yes.
so it's, if it's your comfortableness, okay, like how you want to learn. Okay, so if you,
yeah.
for example, if you want to, if I can say like if you're going to spend 3 hours or 4 hours per day, then you can go with the Java. And I don't want much time, like I just wanted 2 hours, then you can. So the opportunities, I can say like it's 60-40, not
Yeah,
less than that.
okay. Okay, got it.
Yep. And also just want to add like the Java is a current, right? And Python is a future on this, right? Because a lot of applications, okay, now earlier there was no requirement such like AI, ML, right? So this concept was not earlier there, right? So there was a plain vanilla skills like where Java was just one option, C# was one an option, right? But now a lot of applications are getting developed in Python as well as these trending technologies are coming, right? So that's why Python is picking the market. So if I will like in next year, if you will join this session, maybe we will able to say 50-50.
50-50, yeah.
Okay. Any other question, guys? I know we are on top of our right, but because you guys have shown very interest into the question answer, so we are extending this session for 5 more minutes. Okay. If you have any other question, we will be happy to answer. If not, then I will request all of you to please submit a Google review.
Even if you have any doubts, okay, like you can reach us over an email or like over the phone. We are happy to help you guys.
Yeah. So this session is not about the selling of the course. This is about the awareness, what is going on in the QA industry, and how manual tester or the freshers can bring or they can update themselves using these sessions. So next session will be on the test ng framework. Okay, that is one of the very important framework getting used into automation testing.
Yeah.
So please follow our page. Every month we are having a technical webinar. Okay, and you guys will be benefited out of it. Even if you don't want to purchase our course, even that's fine. Okay, so please keep following our pace. It's not about the selling of anything. Okay, so any other question for Vignesh or for us? Okay, if not, then I think we are good. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for staying in the call.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a great day, guys. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.